let's go ahead and hop into the information for the RX 6500 XT, and this one's cool. So if you guys recall, we talked about the RX 6500 XT and the 6400 now going to be moving to 6 nanometer. And as a result, what that ends up translating into is a higher core clock. We'll talk about like the couple now. All right, so let's clarify some things. First of all, a majority of mining is focused on memory performance. That being said, there are a couple algorithms that do benefit from core. We'll talk about those. They do come with what I would call some downsides though. An example would be Flux, I believe Ton, a Ton coin, which also just recently one of their pools got hacked, unfortunately. But these are examples of algorithms that do, favor core clocks. So this could be relevant, especially with Flux taking off as much as it has. The downside of core clock performance on a mining algorithm is going to be a couple things. Majority of is going to be heat dissipation off of that core and the power consumption being turned up over other algorithms. That's just the nature of the beast. But if we were looking at core performance, this isn't looking too bad. This month we expect not one, but 3 companies to unveil their entry-level discrete GPUs. One of them is the upcoming Radeon RX 6500 XT graphics card from AMD. As we have just learned, the RX 6500 XT is to feature a boost clock of 2,815 megahertz with the game clock, set to 2,610 megahertz by default, which is around 9 to 10% higher than the 6600 XT Navi 23 base GPU. The RX 6500 XT and the RX 6400 will both feature Navi 24, a new GPU that is manufactured using the TSMC N6 process technology. This is the first GPU to utilize this node and possibly the last Navi 2X GPU before AMD moves Navi 22 and 23 to 6 nanometer at some point in the future. AMD Radeon RX 6500 XT is to offer 1024 stream processors, up to 4 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory across the 64-bit interface, and TDP of 107 watts. It will be the slowest desktop card to be offered by AMD board partners, with the RX 6400 being an OEM exclusive. As a side note, one of the spec sheets that we have seen mentions 18 gigabits per second memory. Now that is interesting as well, while previous leaks suggested 16 gigabits per second. A higher memory speed would increase the bandwidth to 144 gigabytes per second, and apparently this has been confirmed by leaker Greymon now, is what the article's been updated with. That memory performance could be beneficial. Of course, we are talking about something that couldn't mine Ethereum just based off of the 4 gigabyte capacity. That being said, that faster memory speed is not going to hurt with mining. Now, other altcoins, right? So we have different options within the mining sphere that 4 gigabyte cards could work on. But check this out. As compared to the boost clocks on the 6600 and the 6600 XT, we're over like 10% increase, 2,815 megahertz. Now, if you have played with Flux or Toncoin, etc., you'll notice that those core clocks directly impact that mining performance. And having this new, manufacturing process at 6 nanometer, increasing those core clocks could mean, significant performance improvements for things like Flux, and is going to be something that I keep an eye on, especially with the low TDP, which is significantly less. So the RX 6600 is at 132 watts, which is 30 watts more. Well, somewhere around 25 watts more. And then the RX 6600 XT is at 160 watts, which is, let me do the math once again there, 53 watts more as far as the total board power. We know that the 6600, will do somewhere between like 78 to 100 watts at the wall while mining, depending on the algorithm. With Flux, it's about 10 watts more than it is on Ethereum, I believe. So it was like 90 watts, 90 to 100 watts. We could see that reduced on the 6500 XT, and then we could see, of course, you know, some extra boost out of that core clock, making it kind of an interesting pickup. This isn't something that I'm saying go out and buy day one for mining Flux. We don't know. Don't worry. I'll try to get my hands on one and I will test it and vet it and give you guys all the information. As always, your best bet is to wait for reviews, at least traditionally, but in today's current market, that almost goes out the window and you just get what you can get at retail, right? Like if you're going to go wait overnight, I doubt you're going to waste a ton of money on buying this at retail, because more than likely the price will go up and you can at least resell. Of course, that may change. We may hit a bear market here and then, you know, have to wait longer. There's a lot of other stuff that could go on. But I'm excited about this GPU, actually even more from like a budget gaming perspective than anything else, and just new technology in general. It's interesting that they are pushing that GDDR6 up to 18 gigabits per second. That'll be some of the fastest performing, I believe, because it's only 1 gigabit per second slower than GDDR6X in the NVIDIA GPUs. So that's pretty neat. I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Crypto Mining Morning Show every Monday through Friday, 7:45 a.m. Pacific and 10:45 a.m. Eastern Time. You can check out more clips here, or if you're interested in checking out the entire live show, you can check that out down here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday.